Hey guys, it's Todd from Like-Minded Lunatics, bringing you yes another Drink, Play, Swear. It's all we do around here. It's all our mom's new boyfriend, Frank, asks us to do when mom leaves for work and he awkwardly sticks around for a little while because he doesn't have a job and he's trying to get to know you and seem cool around here. Welcome back to Like-Minded Lunatics, and welcome back to Drink, Play, Swear. Hey, glad you're here. Please hit that subscribe button. Listen, if you've been enjoying this content, which is free, by the way, without hitting that subscribe button, painfully selfish of you. I'm not going to say that something medically is going to, happen to you as a result of your bad karma, but I mean, it could. Please hit the subscribe button. Fear techniques. That's what we're using around here. Thanks for being with us. Plenty of good stuff on the channel. Hey, my buddy and writing partner Mark Gifford, he co-runs this outfit, and he's got some new stuff up. Monday video matchup with composer, professor, and my cousin, Richard Hall, Rich Hall Music. Check it out. Great video. They're doing some Van Hagar today, or they did it on Monday. Some Van Hagar. So check out that comparison there. I'm so excited to play this game with you guys today. So let's talk about what we're doing here at Drink, Play, Swear. All right. Well, at Drink, Play, Swear, what we do here is just that. I play a game, usually a classic one, pair it with a beverage, and I tell you a story. So what do we got here? We got a great one. We got a classic. It's Super Mario Kart, the original Super Mario Kart from 1992. You know what else is original besides my comedic timing? Is this Jim Beam and Coke I'm pairing it with today. Jim Beam and Coke, get yourself something. That's an order. Glad you're here. Let's play some games. Remember Super Mario Kart? Maybe you still play it. There's so many good versions of this, and I feel like every time I have played the new Super Mario Kart, I have been impressed and thought it was my favorite Mario Kart. And that doesn't happen with every game, does it? Let's do a 100cc class. It's been a while since I played this, but I feel pretty confident. Famous last words. Feel pretty confident. And I'm going with Luigi because I don't know. I don't know what it is, but Mario? A little too overconfident for me. He's got all the bluster. How many times in this show can I do a Robert Kennedy impression? It's only a fair impression. I don't know why I spend so much time doing it. I just really love that speech where he talks about bluster. You know, like JFK. JFK had, they sound very similar, that Boston thing. Not Boston, Massachusetts thing. They have that, aristocratic, Tory school kind of vibe, but JFK was very like, we chose to go to the moon, like very authoritative. But Bobby was like a little softer, same accent, but he was like, our work, too great. The consequences. Look, I'm getting busted up here because I'm not paying attention. All right, let's play some Mario Kart. Glad you're with us. What's the story today? What are we talking about? Well, let me get up here and get a little bit better placing before we get into the story. As I was saying, every time a new Mario Kart would come out, I felt like, oh man, this is it. It can't get better than this. I remember for sure loving this game when it was new, but then, get out of here, Bowser. Final lap. Can Toddy McWright, Irish 4%. Not quite as Irish as Jim Longoria, 5%. Can he do it? The answer, probably not. Look, okay, and it's Yoshi. So Yoshi's gonna be the one to watch. You know what I mean? Got my eye on you, Yoshi. Second place, not bad. All right, so what are we talking about in the story today? Well, I've talked about my time in Kansas a little bit on the channel, but not a whole lot. Remember that time I talked about getting snow blind? That's right. You can check that video out right there. South Texan moving to Kansas and being in snow for the first time. Doesn't know what snow blindness is. Thinks it's a drug reference from a Sabbath song. And didn't know what I was doing. But anyway, I haven't talked a ton about Kansas, so I thought I would spend a little more time on Kansas today and my time going to Kansas State University back in 2003, 2004, 2005. Let's get a good start here on this lap. You got to know when to time it, you got to know when to hit the gas, and you never tell anyone else exactly when you think that is. You would never. You never go, oh, here's the trick. No, because this is a pretty simple game, you know. And there's not much you can do to get ahead, aside from, like, make sure that you knock the controller out of your friend's hand at just the right time. And so you got to have little tips and tricks like that, like when to come off the line and when to hit the button. So I want to talk mostly today about one of my favorite professors from Kansas State, and that is the fiction writer. I don't know if he's a like-minded lunatic. I might have to try to get him in the crowd here, in the group. But great fiction writer and a great guy, and really helped me out at a time when I was trying to figure out, you know, what I wanted to say and how I wanted to say it in terms of writing. I'm also a fiction writer, but of course I don't have a book. Imad Rahman is his name, and I got his book right here. He gave this to me as a gift when I graduated. Treasure it. It's a great book. You should pick it up if you don't have it, if you never heard of him. I Dream of Microwaves is his collection of stories. They're great. So it's a collection of stories all about the same character, but it's non-linear. You find this character at different points in his life throughout the book. It's sort of in that, like Dennis Johnson's Jesus' Son, sort of like that, but I think funnier. Nothing wrong with Dennis Johnson's book. It's amazing, but not as funny, I think. But the book centers on a character named Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, no relation to the basketball player. He's a Pakistani-American who's a struggling actor, having a hard time getting parts because the only thing he can get cast for is villains in like America's Most Wanted. And as a result, anytime he takes the city bus, people sort of recognize him from the crime shows and call the police, and he gets run-ins with the law all the time as a result. So, oh, come on, get in front of him. Got in front of Mario. That's all I really cared about there. It's all I really cared about. It might be a one-sided rivalry. He doesn't even know I don't like him, but I don't like him. All right, so he got hired my second year at Kansas State and became my sort of mentor for my final project. And for my final project, because I was doing an MA in English at Kansas State, but I had a concentration in creative writing. So not only did I have to do a final project that was sort of a critical and of academic quality, I had to do a collection of stories, short collection, about 60 pages. And you could make each individual story as long as you wanted, but they wanted about 60 pages. So started working with him to put those together, and we spent a lot of time together. And the relationships between the professors and the grad students at Kansas State when I was there was just amazing. They treated you like equals. I felt really lucky to hang out with Imad back then and get his good advice about everything, really, about life. He had gone to the University of Florida for his MFA and studied under Paget Powell, and he had this great Paget Powell story that I have to share with you. It's sort of a legend. Paget Powell is a novelist, short story writer who has gotten sort of a reputation for being frightening, I'll say, intimidating. And this story that Imad told me is not from his personal experience. It's from the folklore that students would tell each other that surrounded Paget Powell. So I can't honestly say that I know this is true, and I wouldn't want to put that claim out there, but just to kind of give you a sense for what my experience was. Look at that, Yoshi again. All right, so it's Yoshi and Mario that I'm not caring for too much on this go-round. Every time you play, it's something different. Like a different guy will kind of be good, you know? You gotta watch out for him. Bowser, I'm not even paying attention to you. So this is the story. And again, I can't say that it's true. But Imad told me this story. We're sitting at my favorite sandwich shop in Manhattan, Kansas, which is where Kansas State is, and the place is a bar, cheap beer, and great sandwiches. What more do you need? And it was called Rockabelly, little play on filling your belly and the music genre. Rockabelly, and they had a great spicy sandwich. It was like pepperoni, Genoa salami, lettuce, tomato, provolone, salt, pepper, oregano. Your choice of breads. I guess I talk a lot about sandwiches on this channel. Do you remember that time I was talking about New York and talking about the sandwiches? You could go check that one out if you haven't seen it yet. Moving to New York City was fun. Challenging. I'm all the way back at 5th place. Oh, first is in, second's in. I should have picked the easiest. Oh, geez, 6th place. What a nightmare. Look at it. Shamed. Look at, let's say a little Luigi there. Ranked out. I got to give it another try, don't I? Of course I do. So, I'm sorry. Here's the Paget Powell story. Imad told me we're sitting at the sandwich place. I got the spicy and an old style beer. They didn't have Pabst Blue Ribbon in Kansas, but the same company made something called Old Style. And you can get, at that time, you could get a 24-ounce glass for $2.50. So, you could sit there and you'd only spend, $10 on a sandwich and about $10 on beers, and you were ready to go home and take a nap. Pretty cheap. So he says the fame around Paget Powell was this, that one day in a workshop, it was a fiction workshop. So somebody, one of the students has written a story and it's to be workshopped that day. And everyone's going to talk about their thoughts on the strengths and weaknesses of this story. Anyone who's done a writing workshop before knows the drill. And Paget Powell's late. He's late to the place, and they're sitting around 10-15 minutes waiting. And it's grad school, so you don't do the 5-minute rule and all the students want to get out of there. Everybody wants to be there, so they're just sitting around waiting. And finally Paget Powell comes in. Again, I cannot substantiate that this is true. People talk. I'm reporting what people said. Paget Powell comes in, disheveled, in wrinkled clothing, hair's messed up, and visibly upset. He sits down. First place, no big deal. He sits down in the chair, right? And looks up at everyone finally. And he says, sorry I'm late. In that way that he's not sorry, right? Sorry I'm late. This morning, I got a phone call that my mother passed away. And everyone kind of, looks down, I mean, what do you do when someone passes away? Even whether you knew them or not, is you do the flat mouth and a no. You go like this, right? That's a respectful thing to do for some reason in our culture. So the students all do that. And he seems infuriated by it. And he says, obviously it took a toll on me because we were very close and I didn't know she was ill. He says, I left work right away to see my wife at home, to talk to her about what had happened, and I caught her cheating on me in our own bed. He sits quietly for a second, and he says, so I left, checked myself into a motel. I was having a pretty bad day. But I calmed down, I had a few drinks, and after a couple of hours, I pulled out the story for today, and I have to say that of all the bad things that have happened to me today, reading this story was the worst thing. So that's that's what they said about him. And so Imad told me, he was trying to be something else. He was trying to do something else. And Imad was very kind. He helped me flesh out kind of the tone I was looking for, the character development I was looking for, and plot. I always felt pretty confident in dialogue, and he was very encouraging about that. But I needed quite a bit of help. And he was great. But the best help he gave me was not actually about the writing. It was about performance. Now, I am a live storyteller, and I enjoy it quite a bit. I love to get on stage when possible and tell stories, just like the ones I'm telling you guys here on Drink, Play, Swear. But the first time I got up in front of people to share my work, I was understandably nervous, and I didn't know the first thing about it. And I didn't even know to ask for advice, but Imad gave it. And that's kind of the big thing I want to share with you today. The reason why I'm telling this story. We're sitting at Rockabilly, having a couple of beers. In those days, you could still smoke in restaurants, and I smoked cigarettes. We're chain smoking cigarettes, doing the writer thing. You know what I mean? Doing the writer grad school thing. Watch out for the Yoshi egg. Look, and Yoshi's on my tail, dude. You see that? All right, I'm gonna hit my boost. I'm gonna go off. I hit my boost at the wrong time. Do you see that? And I intentionally did it. I said it right out loud that I was going to do it. Now, what lap are we on here? Because I got to... Okay. So, I had written this story that I thought was perfect for the stage because I thought it was funny. And, I didn't explain this yet. At the end of the year, right before the creative writing students graduated, they let us do a little fiction reading. And it was like, there were 3 or 4 of us. I believe, if I remember correctly, there was one poet, and then there were 3 of us who were fiction writers. And so we were preparing for the event, and the faculty and the students, the undergrads and the graduate students, were all going to be in attendance. And it was an opportunity to showcase our hard work. Yoshi, get out of here, dude. Look, didn't learn anything. I did the same thing again. This time, survived, but can I get around this? No. Nope. Nope. Bowser. Yoshi and Bowser. So Mario's behind me. No big deal. So I want to read this story that I've written that I was particularly proud of, called Bum Parade. And it was about this dude who was a failed graphic novelist in his mid-20s, and he was trying to figure out how to finish this, graphic novel, epic graphic novel he had come up with about space aliens. And so he's sitting at Long John Silver's just trying to work out his outline before he begins drawing. And he happens to run into an old high school friend he hasn't seen in some time. And this high school friend has since become a pirate, like a real pirate, sailing the seas, pillaging. And he's only in town because his sister's getting married, and he's gonna attend the wedding. He doesn't have a guest, but he's free to bring a guest, so he invites the main character, and they go off to the wedding. Hilarity ensues. At the wedding, the main character is sitting at the bar, and he meets an attractive woman who's an architect, and she is very upset, and about 3 or 4 beverages in, and says that she's been asked to design the kill facility, the kill room in the the animal shelter. And she's really upset about the ethical, moral implications of this, and so they go off to have sex. Typical story. You've heard it a million times. So I'm getting ready to I want to read that one, and I tell Imad as such, and he says, and he kind of kind of looks down, not excited. All right, final race, Todd. Get it right. And I say, hey, do you think that's the wrong story for me to read? And he says, no, it's a good story, and it's funny. But he says it flatly like that, And I'm like, okay. Should I not read a funny story? He goes, no, I think it's a good idea to read a funny story. Everybody there wants to have fun. I don't know what he's getting at, but he's about to give me really good advice for how to read stuff that's intended to get laughs. He says, I don't want you to fall into the trappings that I fell into when I first started doing public readings. It's hard to read comedy. I said, okay, what's your advice? He says, here's the thing. You're going to read moments that you want laughs for, and you're going to read it like it's funny, because it is. But you see, what you don't understand is that they're going to see, what are they going to see? They're going to see a guy who thinks his writing is funny and is looking for a laugh. You can't read it like that. He says, your character, the character's name was Rifter Underwood. This is before the Kevin Spacey show. Rifter Underwood. He says, Rifter is at a hard time in his life. He's not having a good time. The story is funny, but he's not having fun, right? Right, yeah, of course. He says, you need to read it like you're him. Even though it's in third person. The way you read it. Whoa, I went off the thing. The way you read it. Oh gosh, look at this. 5th place. This is an embarrassment. I got to get up there. I got to get up there. I got to get a good power up. I'm not going to get a good power up. I'm going to get a banana. He says, you need to read it like you're Rifter. You need to read it like you're not looking for a laugh. Wow, okay. He says, and here's what I want you to do. Here's a little trick. If you read it deadpan, you're going to get laughs because your story is funny. The first laugh you get, I want you to look up from your work as you're reading. I want you to look up and lock eyes with the person who is laughing the loudest in the room. And I want you to look at them like you don't understand why they're laughing. So I tried it out that night. That's all I was thinking about. That's all I was thinking about was play it deadpan and look up at someone when they laugh like I don't know why they're laughing. So here, I'm going to do my impression of it. I get up, start reading the story. You see, the audience doesn't know. If you're a writer and you're trying to set a mood, the audience doesn't know if they're supposed to be laughing or not yet. You just start the story. You're setting the scene. You're setting up for the characters, all the exposition, and then you're getting into the narrative. You're getting into the story. The story starts building, right? Dialogue starts happening. There are, risks, or there are things that make this important for people to care about, and it's starting to build. But then a few things are funny, and a few things more are funny, and then the audience is starting getting a sense, oh, okay, this is supposed to be funny, but I'm doing it deadpan. Finally, I get my laugh. I get my big laugh. And I look up. I'm going to do my best impression of it. I look up like this. I'm reading here. And I go, say the line. Get the big laugh. Right over here. Get the big laugh. And I go. Place erupted. It was in laughter. It was the best advice I could have ever received. And it was the first time I really got good public speaking advice. These days, when I teach writing, we also teach presentations. And a lot of the semester, I spend about 3 or 4 weeks on presentations. A lot of it is about delivery and about how to get yourself prepared for the stage. I used to work for a wonderful program through Texas Public Radio called Worth Repeating. They gave me an opportunity to really sharpen my skills. I was with them for 4 years to do the same thing, to help people get ready for the stage. So I feel like I've learned a few things along the way, but Imad, if you're watching, you gave me the first piece of advice that I really needed to be a decent public speaker and a decent storyteller live, in terms of knowing, look at that, knowing how to do it right and how to get a good result. Second place by a lot. Yoshi creamed me. So the next time I play another Mario Kart on the channel, like say I play the new one I got over here, the new-ish one, maybe we'll see if I can get some revenge. Second place is going to have to do for today. All right, thanks for being with us here at Drink, Play, Swear, and Like Minded Lunatics. Bang that subscribe button if you haven't done so already in between now and the next time I talk to you. I'm Second Place McWright. See ya.